Here we are, dominating now. What's happening here is I am sharing my mind map with you. So once you realize the map is not the territory, you'll automatically create a new narrative for yourself. This will allow you craft a new path and tell a different story because you now understand the most important variables of life and how to navigate life's waters. This is what's most important, and this is what life's about. So let's play. Part one question is, what is the point of living? See, I didn't start asking myself this question until the beginning of law school. This was 2014, 13. And long story short, it all started off with my pastor talking about purpose, talking about vision, which, I mean, they weren't saying that to me in the Catholic Church. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to have a purpose and I'm meant to have a vision. And this is a journey I'm meant to go on by myself, for myself, with myself, to myself. So it's like, okay, great. All I have to do is ask myself all these fantastic questions, go through my checklist, and boom, max 1 week, I should have it all figured out and let's get going, because after all, law school is just 1 year and then real life begins. 1 week passed, 1 month, 6 months, what's happening? No purpose yet. You know, I was going crazy, right? But I kept on asking and I kept on thinking about it. It was going on and on in my head until one day, boom, I had an idea to start a business, my fashion business. I was scared, I was nervous, I was anxious, but I could feel the blood rushing through my veins. I felt excited. I mean, it didn't matter that I had no clue, no idea, nothing about fashion. I mean, I'm a lawyer, for crying out loud. But that didn't matter, because if your vision and your goals don't scare you, then they're not big enough. I might as well not even bother. So the whole point was, it has to be so big that you would need a whole nation to come together to make it happen. So when I felt that tingling fear plus anxiety and all of that, I knew that yes, this is it. So my journey in business began. I met my teacher who was teaching wealth creation, and it just made sense that purpose is a continuous discovery of the power of I am in your life. And that is you discovering who you really are and how I as an individual can make an impact worldwide. It only makes sense that you can do that through the vehicle of business, because business provides you a scalable system where you can transfer your values, amplify those values through your business system for the world to see. And so you're sharing your values through a system and also enriching others in the process. A job is great, it's awesome, but you have dead-end jobs, you have stepping stone jobs, and you have those jobs that you don't even know what you're doing there. You're just like earning money, and just going with the flow. But we are the Spirit of God, and we have all of this creativity and all of this power and value in us that is meant for a purpose. If not, might as well just be dead. But as long as we have the breath in our body, it means that there's something specific to our existence that we are meant to extract and share with the world, which is why there's love in sharing. That's what love is about. So it takes wisdom to go deep within to say, okay, who am I? Why am I here? And how do I take who I am and share that in the most effective and efficient way possible without harming myself while still maintaining my integrity? Because it's very possible in the process of unraveling purpose that we compromise here and there just to get ahead. But what's the point of getting ahead if there's just darkness on the inside? What's the point of getting ahead if on the inside you just feel void and down and depressed, heavy, weighed down? No wonder some people who have a lot of money, but a money that's not backed by purpose, end up killing themselves because it's not the money. You see, the money is delicious, right? Who doesn't love money? But it's not the money, it's the purpose, the meaning behind the money that makes it different. Then you become attractive, you become a magnet, and people are just drawn to you. Why? Because they see themselves in you, and they see, oh wow, this person is such a star, this person is such a light onto others' path, that they just automatically want to be in your space and just get infected by your vibe. And I think that's fantastic. I mean, that makes every single day an adventure. So business serves as the perfect vehicle because it's an entity on its own. So you can separate yourself somehow, right? You can go within, extract the values, and then take the values outside of yourself into that external entity and share it to the world. That way you maintain your integrity, your core continues to be strengthened, and you feel centered within yourself. That way, no matter the challenges or obstacles that come to shift you, that come to tempt you to drift off your path, it doesn't matter because you are centered within yourself, because you know who you are and the power that you carry, and that is what makes life amazing. Yes. So, business is about a system and values. So, a system because it has to exist as an entity outside of yourself, right? Putting your values in motion, pouring your values into other people so that they can now go out as vectors to spread those values. Like how Jesus poured himself out to the 12 disciples, and the 12 disciples amplified the message, right, and shared the message out. Imagine that day Peter spoke, somebody who, is Peter. And the next thing you know, receiving his power, receiving his purpose, and he influenced multitudes of people. It's absolutely amazing. That is the power of purpose. But it's a continuous discovery of self. It's not like one thing. Okay, yeah, I came, but it was more like a realization that whatever idea that I have, I can do it. It doesn't matter that I don't have the immediate access to resources. What matters is the idea. And then now putting in the finer details into that idea and making it whole, so that when you're speaking out to people and sharing it, you have details, it's going to be like this, it's going to be this way, this is how you intend to carry it out, it shows that you're serious, and it shows that you know what you're saying. But when you're just like, there's no detail, you're just talking shy, I like this business, I'm going to do it, just make money, What's that? Nobody's ever going to take you seriously. But when you take out time to do your research, know what you really want, know what you really, really want. Write it down, because the way it works is when the thoughts flow from your brain through the neurons and out through your hands on paper, it's like creating a new pathway for yourself, and it's there on paper. So you have an idea, you write it down, and in the process of writing it down, you're enlarging your vision, and that way you begin to see clearly all the different variables and all the different elements that you need to consider, and possible challenges and obstacles and how you're going to tackle them. That way, when anything comes to attempt to shift you, you know what to do, because now you know that no matter what planning you're doing, you should always have four options like north, south, east, and west. Those four options, if north doesn't work and you turn east, then by turning east, automatically a new pathway opens up. So constantly you have all your cardinal points in check and you are ready to go. That is what life's about. So going back to the creation story, Adam had a purpose, Jesus had a purpose, and it's because they fulfilled their purpose. That's why we use them as examples today to tell a story, to learn a lesson, to show that, listen, you cannot just be floating and be hoping, YOLO, life will work out. Yeah, have fun, but at the same time, you have every decision that you make and every action that you take and every word that comes out of your mouth, every inhale and every exhale, It has to be precise and definite. That way, because we're surrounded by so many different energies, we're not easily infected or influenced by the perceived wrong things, right? It's not like there's good or bad, there's just only what you want. So that way, you always stay on track with what you want. Life becomes beautiful. So the creation story says to be fruitful, multiply, subdue, and dominate. Hello. When you put your values in a scalable system, you can only move up to infinity, right? You create a business and you have Jack Ma has 100 year plan or so for his business. Why 100 year plan? Because he knows that his business will exist and continue to exist even after he's dead, because his body, flesh, is not the driver of the business. It's not a driver of that entity. It's his values, the intangible things, that serve as the driving force, and how well he's able to transfer those values into other people. So there is no dignity in playing small. In the process of this, a lot of people will be offended. Why? Because you will remind them of how they gave up on their dreams and now you're going after their dreams, and it's like, who does she think she is? You are the awesomeness of the universe. So yes, it is your right to be magnificent. It is your right to be fruitful, multiply, dominate, and subdue, because it's who we are. We cannot be anything less than who we are. And that's why business is the perfect vehicle to live life with, right? Someone commented on my post, she said, all of us cannot be CEOs. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Which is true. I mean, without darkness, you can't have lights. So some people have to be leaders. Some people have to be followers. But we all have the potential for greatness. It now depends on how you are able to generate enough willpower to extract all of that potential and make it, into the physical that we can all see. So your results will begin to speak for you. And you're not just talking about ideas and just wishing. Yeah, talk is cheap, so start doing, right? So my question is, how determined are you to discover your purpose, to continue to discover your purpose? It's not just saying, oh, they are doing chicken business, then you go and start chicken business. Oh, they are doing digital marketing, let me go and do digital marketing. So fashion is a new thing now, let me go and bead making. I mean, you become a jack of all trades, master of none, just everywhere, scattering yourself anywhere. It's not allowed. Stop it. Sit down. Demand of yourself. Who am I? What am I passionate about? Start with what my likes and dislikes, Abby. Start from there. And then continue to build it up. When you know who you're not, you can begin to define who you are. That's a good step. But you see, it's for you to craft out time. Only lazy people, poor people say there's no time. I don't have time. Oh no, there's no time. We all have the same 24 hours, I beg. So forget about all of that. There's time. You decide what is important to you. If this is really, really important to you, then you will create and make time to figure it out. So that is my question. Answer that question. Are you strong enough, determined enough to figure it out for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, to yourself? Because in this life, it's only you that matters. Not me, not what I'm saying, not what anybody's saying, not social media, your parents. Because everybody can just die today and then what? I get to say, oh my gosh, where is me? End of life. I'm nobody. No, you're going to move on. Life goes on. Life will forever go on, with or without you. So might as well make this life count and have the best of your life. But there has to be a purpose to it. It cannot just be anyhow. It has to be defined, right? It will continue to evolve, but you see, that foundation has to be definite, so that when you finally build your mega structure, it stands the test of time. That is living life on purpose. I will see you on the next video.